That may be the last game in which the Sens play without Thomas Chabot, because it looks like he's trending toward returning. That was the word from Travis Green yesterday before the game. He said Chabot's been skating here in Ottawa. He's close. So that would intimate that maybe as soon as the next game, which is Thursday, we could see Chabot back, and that is much needed. At this point, if you had to guess, because it's been a bit of a revolving cast of characters regarding, I think it's mostly been Clevin and Spence that have been the de facto second pair, and then Jensen and Matt and Paolo. Like it's just Chabot and Spence? Is that what it becomes? Or do they try Jensen to start things off, or see if that works again?
Yeah. Oh, man. Hammer, just before the Chabot injury, we were starting to have the conversation. That's when Spence had just been moved up, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
And we started to have the conversation, when will Jensen maybe be scratched? And it's not forever, but okay. You're not always in the lineup right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they stay healthy enough, and that's always a big if, right? Will we get to that point? I wouldn't rule that out, not right away, right? But I wouldn't rule that out happening at some point in the relatively near future. But I still think that Steve Staios in a perfect world would like to add another D through trade, and add somebody that you think could, at least through injury, elevate and play in your top four for a prolonged stretch if need be. Now, that's not easy to find. Everybody wants that guy. Those are good players, so what do you got to give to get? But I think this stretch without Chabot has shown us, if we didn't already know it, they're a scoring forward short up front, and I still think that they're a little higher up on the food chain defenseman away as well. Because without Chabot, it's been a really mixed bag. You've got Sanderson as a true number 1D in the league kind of guy. Like he's one of the very best defensemen in the league, not just on your team. Zub is a solid top 4 right shot guy, and different stages of the career for everybody else and what they do. It's guys that play basically, to be fair, at a 5 to 7 level. Right? And sometimes you can have a great game and look like a top 4, but I think that in a perfect world, this team could use another defenseman that could push out somebody else of that mix of players after you get through Sanders and Zub and Chabot.
So Spence is your answer? I don't know that you answered the initial question.
Well, you ask me questions and you get me thinking, so I pontificate a little bit.
Let me
I apologize.
You, there was, I think, 30
I think
seconds.
It is Spence right away, yes.
Okay. 30 seconds left in the game. It was an offensive face-off. Jordan Spence is on the ice. Sens lose the face-off. Jets immediately get down the ice. And then you're seeing Jordan Spence battle along the end boards. Can't remember who he was battling with, but it was a tick on a dog, right? Not a whole lot happening here. And that's nothing against Jordan Spence.
No, he's not knocking a lot of guys off.
He's not that guy,
nope.
Right? He's just not that guy. Man, I have not seen Matt and Paolo really be a problem on the ice at all.
No.
I'm really liking his game.
He's solid.
And they've asked him to play on his wrong side. You brought it up a few days ago, Lloydie, so I don't want to steal your point. But he's been really good as well. I don't think I'm looking towards him as the guy that I'm going to take out of the lineup right now if Chabot's ready to go on Thursday.
No, that's...
I like what he's bringing here.
Yeah.
Probably helps out Clevin a little bit as well. It was nice to see Clevin, no lack of confidence last night, still skating up the ice with the puck. Love seeing that.
Got some pucks on goal.
Yeah.
Good bounce back.
I'd be looking at Spence right now as well.
Spence being
the odd man out. If
Oh,
Chabot...
no,
I think Spence will start with Chabot.
Really? Oh, really?
For the first game. Just for the first game.
I'm leaning towards Spence
okay.
out.
Whether you believe in analytics or not, so you brought up... So last night, Jordan Spence, analytically...
You're going to prove me wrong.
No, I'm just saying.
Or the numbers.
The Corsi, the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan Spence was 71%. Dead last, Matt and Paolo. 24%. But I get what it's not. It doesn't feel like it's egregious.
I guess maybe
right?
yeah.
It doesn't feel like when Matt and Paolo and less so with Jensen, like they're under siege. But the numbers would suggest otherwise. So they're getting largely outchanced when that pair is on the ice.
Well, my eye test fails.
What are the ozone starts, though?
Yep.
On that as
It's
well.
all part of it, for sure.
I don't know what they are. I'd have to look. So maybe it would be making your point even further for all I know. But I'm anecdotally, I'm kind of with Hammer. And maybe it's because I think we all kind of do this as well. I think Matt and Paolo, he's like, that's found money guy. He's a free agent signing from Europe. He doesn't make much money, and he can play. And so you think, hey, he's doing his job.
Guy.
He's doing his job, right? And I like him. I like him and he's definitely a bottom pairing kind of guy, but I like what he brings to this team.
I would. I'm at the stage where if it came back on Thursday, Chabot came back, I would start with Spence as well. I understand your misgivings, but I would start with that, and I would keep Matt and Paolo in with Clevin, and I would scratch Jensen.
I find that the hard choice.
It is
not necessarily the wrong choice.
No, but
I find it the hard choice.
And politics is the wrong word, but team dynamics does play a role in that, and Nick Jensen is a well-respected veteran.
Veteran respect matters.
Right?
It does.
For sure, and a coach recognizes that, and management recognizes that as all. And it's not like I think Jensen is better than he was. Like, I think it was a real struggle to start the season, and I think it's passable now, but there's still, you can see at times where it's still a struggle for him, right? He just can't get around the ice like he used to, unfortunately, after the hip surgery. So is he going to, if he keeps playing, is he going to incrementally get a little bit better, 10% better, 15% better? Is that going to be good enough? Or, to your point, again, you want to be respectful of a veteran player and all that. Has it now reached a point where, if the 7 current defensemen are all healthy, I think you could more sell it on a spotting him in and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he plays some and he doesn't play some. And it kind of depends on the opponent and depends on how the team is doing and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's maybe a more respectful way to handle it.
Yeah.
That's if all the guys are healthy, which
we
know doesn't happen very often.
Every time you think you're getting close to being healthy, something happens. And that's every team.
Yep, absolutely. So, anyway, Chabot trending toward returning maybe on Thursday. The news not as good on Pinto. He's not even skating, so they originally said 2 weeks. That would be the 2-week timeline would have been he would return Saturday. So that doesn't sound like that's happening. In fact, it's probably going to be, given where they are in the schedule and with a break at Christmas, we're probably looking at post-Christmas on Shane Pinto at best on that, and they dearly miss him as well. He's been one of their best players this year. You don't have to follow the team that closely to know that Shane Pinto is key. And Lars Eller, who I think has been really good overall. I think he's done as much or more than kind of I had expected that he would be. And but he's going to be out now an extended period of time with a foot injury.
And the other thing with Pinto, like it just seemed like such a weird play. He went down. You could tell he was in pain right away. And he's been out for a while now, and he's not even skating. And listen, you got some runway left here. You know, how bad is it for Shane Pinto? Is he thinking about, man, is this going to hurt my chances to be on the Olympic team?
Yeah, good point. Kind of like Bedard with Canada now, right? Steph writes, bummer that Pinto may not be back until after the holiday break. Need to keep finding ways to get points until our best two-way player is back. That's from Steph. From Wes, I don't think it's debatable Sanderson being the best player. We could lose Stützle and Tkachuk for a stretch and be fine. We lose Sanderson and we'd be mediocre. That's from Wes. Reg writes, nice to see the win. That said, JR's point yesterday of the lack of scoring is still a huge concern. 7, 18, 19, and 24. That would be Tkachuk, Stützle, Batherson, and Cousins. And the injured 12 are the only goal scorers at forward. The remainder have their niche roles and skills, but scoring's not one of them. Need to get fixed. Need another D-man. And have few assets and little cap space. Good luck, Steve Staios. That's from Reg. Yeah, that's the other part of it is, if Ottawa's going to make a trade for a defenseman, like you said, that they need, or another scorer. They don't have a whole lot. They don't have their first-round pick. Carter Yakimchuk, again, we'll find out hopefully from David Vale coming up here in a minute what his status is injury-wise. I don't think they'd have an interest in trading him anyway at this point. They just don't. Would they have to trade something off the roster at this point? And if you're looking at trading something off the roster, what do you have that's extra, that's of enough value that you can get one of those types of things?